Hey, Steve Bergen here, and this is another Hopscotch challenge. And I will give you a warning later on. There's a spoiler alert, so if you need the solution, you're going to get the solution at the end. I'll give you a warning so you can stop the video. Okay, so what I've got, as soon as I hide this screen a little bit, is I've got the character in Hopscotch, I think the Gulipus, and is going to draw a checkerboard of a variable size. Okay, it's now going to work, and let me show it to you now. Okay, I believe the size I chose here was 20 by 20. I'll check in a second. So if you're thinking strategy, you want to break down a big task into small tasks. Can you get the character to draw a square? Sure you can. 4 sides, 4 angles of 90 degrees. Can you then figure out how to get it to draw a row of 8 squares? More challenging, but you can. So first you do the square, get it under control. Then you do the row of 8, get it under control. And only after you have a row of 8 do you now go to drawing 8 rows. Take note that when you do this, you want to use a variable like x, so that all I have to do now, because I'm going to stop this, and I'm going to go to my program, and I'm going to change the value of x. Okay, so now I'm stopping it. I'm changing the value of x, which by the way was 40. I'm changing it now to be 70. And now I play it again. And now you'll see the same program, but the squares are now 70 by 70. So if you're working with boys or girls in grades 3, 4, 5, 6, it's within the realm of their mathematical understanding to draw a square and then learn how to make a variable size square. So the square might be of size 40 or 60 or 70, and then you teach them how to make the square of size x. And you teach them the variable command that lets x be a certain number, and then the program works with x down below. Okay, so now you can see the character drawing 8 rows, and the 8 rows are of the variable size. Okay, at this point, I'm going to call the words spoiler, and I'll even type it here, spoiler alert, because everything from this point on is going to be showing you the program and talking about the program and taking apart the program. And if you want the challenge, and I hope you do, you want to work at it and come to this portion of the video only if you really, really need it. Okay? So I'm warning you, spoiler alert, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, it's almost done, but I'm going to press the X, and you've been warned. So now let's take a look at the program. There are actually 3 loops: an inner loop, a medium loop, and a larger loop. Up top, I'm setting the variable x to be 70, but that can be anything you want. 40, 50, 60, 70, it doesn't matter. Let's start with the inner loop. I had trouble on the inner loop because I know to draw a square is 4 times 90, but I strategically wanted 5 times 90, so it would draw the square and go one more time forward, so it was getting ready to draw the next square. So this is a clever idea perhaps, but I needed it in order to do the following. After it drew 5 line segments, basically a square plus 1, then I had it rotate minus 90, so that went the other way, and now it's ready to draw the next square. So this inner loop if I can pull this out here, this inner loop right here is drawing the square, and it's drawing the square, and then it's the minus 90 that is, after it draws the square, the minus 90 is making it rotate one more way, but opposite. So maybe if I show you on a drawing program, this will make sense. So let me grab a drawing program here and see if I could show you what my thinking is, in terms of doing this. So I was drawing a square, and drawing the square went like this. I went forward, I turned, I went forward, and I turned, and this is one complete square. But then what I did was I went forward and turned facing up, but that's not ready to draw the next square because the previous square was drawn to the left of. So at this point, I rotated this amount direction. I rotated this, so I was facing in this direction. That's why I had 5 turns followed by rotating negative 90. Let me go back to Hopscotch and see if that makes sense. There's my inner loop of 5, rotating that. And then I went minus 90. There are other ways to do this, absolutely. And then the next loop was the 8 loop. Now the next challenge I had here, whoops, I just destroyed this, sorry. The next challenge that I had here had to do with the bottom 3 steps. This rotate right over here, minus 90, meant that the way it was facing at the end of one row of the checkerboard, the way it was facing at one row of the checkerboard, I had to turn it so I could then walk to the left of the screen. And there's the necessity of moving this distance, and you'll see the final solution in a second, moving this distance 8 times. So 8 times I had to move X to get it back to the far left of the checkerboard. And then finally, I turned it 90 degrees, which made it face in the correct fashion. So you see the repeat 8 right here, this blue loop. I'm scared to pull it out because then I won't get it back. This repeat 8 moves it from the right-hand side of the checkerboard back to the left-hand side of the checkerboard. And then these 3 commands here, this one, and this one, move it up 1 row so that it's ready to draw the next row. All right, I hope this was helpful. It may not even been the best spoiler report alert in the world, but this is Steve Bergen signing off. All right, and good luck with this program. Bye.